So, hello doc, my name is Darshil and today I am going to perform subcutical suturing. So, here first this is the needle holder, this is forceps, this is scissor, and this is the thread, monofilament thread. So, first of all, how to pick our needle holder. So, ring finger and thumb, and this is the middle one, hold like this, and this is the index finger, hold like this. Okay, so first of all take the by forceps, pull the thread, reload, this is the surgeon knot first, this is second knot, this is third knot. Cut. cut the extra. So see this one, this is the subcutaneous suture, and there is a no space. If there is a space, then suturing technique is not good. So here there is a no space, so this is the good suturing, and healing is good. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dabgar Ronakkumar. So today we are going to do horizontal metal suture technique. Let's see how to do. So first we grasp the needle by needle holder at distal portion of the body, 1/2 to 3/4 of the distance from the tip of the needle. Now we will take our first bite at 5 mm to 1 cm from the wound edge. Second bite to opposite side. Pull out the needle from the wound after it passes through. The entry and exit point of the first pass should be symmetric on both sides of the wound. Reverse the direction of the needle in the needle driver. Place the second pass beginning on the same side of the laceration and inserting the needle 0.5 cm next to exit side of the first pass. The second pass should be identical but parallel to first pass. Tie the suture closed. This is your surgeon's note. Cut the both end of the suture. And this is your horizontal metal suture done. Thank you.
Load the needle between apex and its curvature 2/3 from the needle tip. Straighten out the suture. Using the forceps, lift the skin and pierce the skin surface with needle perpendicular to the skin, supinating the wrist so that needle can pass through the dermis and rises of the middle of the wound. Regrasp the needle and lift it out of the wound. Using the forceps to hold the needle whilst I reload the needle holder. Now lifting the opposite skin of the wound using the forceps. Again using the curvature of the needle and supinate the hand wrist to move the needle through the skin. There should be equal needle bites on opposite side of the wound edge. Now regrasping the needle through and pull out the suture of the skin. Reload the needle facing opposite direction and using the forceps pull out the skin and pierce through the skin again the perpendicular to the skin. Using the forceps, regrasp the needle and again loading in the needle holder. Lift the skin of opposite side of the wound perpendicular to the skin. Using the curvature of the needle, again pierce through the skin, and with the help of forceps gently take out the needle, and using the holder take out the needle from the wound. To make the knot, take out the extra thread, and now to make the knot we will use the forceps to hold the needle and then make the suture, go round the needle holder twice and hold the other hand of the end of the suture and move the knot to the weak hand, and then again moving the suture once around the needle holder for once and then pulling it to the opposite side. We do it twice, but we can do it thrice. Generally it is done for two times. Now cut the needle suture about 5 to 6 nanometer from the wound and the suture is done. Thank you.
Load the needle between the apex of its curvature and 2/3 from the needle tip. Using forceps, lift the skin of wound and pierce the skin perpendicular. Using curvature, move the wrist to take out the needle out between. Round, regrasp the needle using holder. Lift the opposite skin of wound, the pierce the skin and take out of skin. Regrasp needle and pull out extra suture thread. To make knot, move thread around the holder twice and hold the other end of suture. Pull opposite, then make one round around holder and repeat the knot. Pull out. Cut the suture 5-6 nanometer above the skin.
Hello doc, my name is Shahjada Mohamadjavid Abdulwahid. Load the needle between the apex of its curvatures and 2/3 from the needle tip. Using forceps, leave the skin of wound and pierce the skin perpendicular. Using curvature, move the wrist to take out the needle out between wound. Regrasp the needle using holder. Lift the opposite skin of wound, the pierce the skin and take out of skin. Regrasp needle and pull out extra suture thread. To make knot, move thread around holder twice and hold the other end of sutures. Pull opposite, then make one around holder and repeat the knot. Pull. Cut the suture 5 to 6 nm above the skin. Thank you, doc.
Good afternoon, doc. Myself Utsav godara, and I'm gonna explain the simple continuous suturing procedure. So first let the needle percentrate from the wound. Then on the other side, insert the needle in the depth of the tissue. And the first suture is the place by the following the same indicates step of the interpreted suture, and tie instruments secure knot, but the instant of the cutting both end only cut the end without the needle. Ask an assistant to hold a part of the long end of the suture. Proceed with the next suture loop to the right of the first suture, and ask the assistant to release the suture as you proceed with the tightening the second suture loop, and place another suture loop. And it should start look like when placing the last stitch. Ask your assistant to release the suture. Make a secure knot using this suture loop of the penultimate stitch and the remaining free or needle end of the suture, and cut the three end of the suture, and place each suture as above at 1 centimeter intervals until wound is approximated without tension. Carry this on along the wound. Finish by carefully gathering the thread to create a long thread with needle and short thread before performing a hand tie or instrument tie. And care should be taken to apply the correct amount of tension to the suture materials. And if too much, the skin becomes strangulated. If too late, the wound edge may be not be posted correctly. Thank you.
Hello, I am Amish Pathan. Today I will be doing simple continuous suturing. Start at the wound edge and work along the wound. Traditionally, this is done working towards yourself. For each suture, grasp and invert the skin edge gently with the non-dominant hand. Pronate the dominant hand so that the needle will pierce perpendicular to the skin, and drive the needle through the skin by supinating the hand using the curve of the needle. Before picking up the needle, 2/3 from the tip with the needle holders. A no-touch needle technique is important, reducing sharps, injury and infection risk. Place each suture as above at 1 cm intervals until wound is approximated without tension. Carry this on along the wound. Finish by carefully gathering the thread to create a long thread with needle and short thread before performing a hand tie or instrument tie. Thank you.
Hello dog, I am Ronakkumar. Today I am going to perform how to do vertical suturing. So let's start. So for suturing we use needle holder, forceps and scissor and the nylon monofilament thread. So first load the needle and gently lift the skin with the forceps. Then deep bite perpendicular to the skin. There should be equal bite of depth and distance from the wound edge. Again reload the needle, then make sure the needle in hold needle properly, then gently pull the needles. Now we reload the needle and pull the needle in opposite side, but this time we do not bite deeply. Reload the needle and pull the needle. Now by helping of needle holder we form the two loop and knot properly. Then again form one loop and knot. Again form one loop and knot properly in it. Then cut the thread by using scissors and make sure it cut it properly. So this technique also known as far near suturing. So as you can see the suture. Thank you dog.
This is Jitendra Singh and I am doing vertical sutures. Always use instrument to pick up the needle and never use finger risking a needle stick in
Use toothed forceps very gently lift the skin edges and hold the skin when inserting the needle. Now take a larger bite than the normal to start the vertical mattress suture. Insert the needle with the point at the 90 degree of the skin. Now take a same size bite to the other side of the wound. Hold the needle with the forceps and rotate it in the needle holder to prepare for the backhead part of the mattress suture. Now take a small bite approximately halfway between the exit point and the skin edge. Using the backhead technique, enter the needle at the 90 degree to the skin and rotate needle through the tissue by. Now repeat the same process opposite side of the wound from the inside to outside. Pull the suture through the wound and then pull the suture through and then tie a standard knot without excess tension. When trying to knot, make a double forward through fist by wrapping the suture twice around the tip of the needle holder. Grabs the end of the suture with the needle holder and pull it through the loop as shown. By the shown same process, we will tie a one more knot. In the end, we will cut the excess thread and thank you.